Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Say Less Basketball Podcast. We're back, December 19th, current date. Is joined as always with me, Zach Fulcher, Will, and Mohammed Davilsi. We got everybody here. Jack, I don't know where Jack's been. Jack,
Been
said
really quiet,
he said he's been he's been real quiet since the Bulls have kind of, established themselves as a force of nature in the association, if you will. So he hasn't been back since his bad takes on the Wizards and Hornets and Bulls. Trying to get him on, but he's always busy every week. We were busy last week. I was on vacation in Miami. But we're back this week, episode 44. So episode 43 was last week. There's been a lot there. I listened to Will's comments about number 43 with Kevin Durant, and it's a running joke in our friend group with the number 43, but it's 44 this week, and we're back. And there's been a lot of stuff going around the NBA, a lot of COVID outbreaks, a lot of records to be broken, and a lot of big storylines about who's coming back and stuff like that. So it really feels like a little bit of a weird point in the season because so many COVID outbreaks are going on. The Bulls had like 9 players out, and they had to get games postponed because they just didn't have enough players to play. And then the Nets also recently announced that they will be bringing back Kyrie Irving as a part-time player for the away games because they just don't have enough players to play because they're due to COVID. Due to like the COVID protocols and everything, a lot of guys are out for Brooklyn. And then KD, I think, just went into protocols too, and so did Kyrie as well. So that's going to be something to monitor for sure. I know that Russell Westbrook was also in COVID protocols. There's all that talk with LeBron too about the false negatives as well. So the Lakers have had their struggles going with the COVID tests and the protocols too. I'm trying to find like a list of everybody that's been listed out. I know that the Denver and this just came out now. The Denver and Brooklyn game today has been postponed. It's per Woj, one of our nice sources working for us. But
our front line of defense or information.
Yes. Oh, they got a COVID. CBS has a NBA COVID-19 tracker. KD, Kyrie Irving, Trae Young. Frank Vogel, coach of the Lakers, just joined the list too.
They gotta have like it almost feels like half the league's out. I know that's an extreme exaggeration, but it's what it feels like.
It definitely feels like that. Rick Carlisle, the Pacers coach, Alvin Gentry, the Kings coach, Masai Ujiri, Toronto Raptors president. They're all in protocols, I think. Frank Vogel is as well. Celtics have Al Horford, Grant Williams. I mean, the list is LaMarcus Aldridge, Bruce Brown, James Harden, Zach LaVine. I already mentioned KD and Kyrie, Zach LaVine, AO, Stanley Johnson, Derek Jones Jr., Matt Thomas, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Isaac Okoro, Reggie Bullock, Michael Porter, Jordan Poole, Marcus Morris, Kendrick Nunn, THT, Dwight Howard. I mean, it just keeps going. Giannis is out too. Bobby Portis is out. Yeah, it just keeps going on.
Chris Middleton.
Like everyone, Chris Middleton, right? Anthony Edwards, RJ Barrett, RJ Hampton, Terrence Ross, Mo Wagner, Andre Drummond, Shake Milton, Marvin Bagley, De'Aaron Fox, Davion Mitchell, Pascal Siakam. And then the Cleveland Cavaliers at Atlanta Hawks today has been postponed. The Bulls at Raptors game from the 16th got postponed, and then the Bulls Pistons game from the 14th also got postponed.
Middleton's out knee injury, so I take that back.
Yes, and the Denver Brooklyn game got postponed as well. So we're really into the postpones, and I mean everyone's getting out. Like I just read off that list. It feels like at least every team has at least 1 or 2 guys out due to the protocols. So your thoughts? What do you think they should they pause the season, go back to the bubble? Should they, how are they going to make these postponed games up again? really the floor is open, gentlemen, because this is a very uncertain time in the NBA right now, and very hectic with all these protocols. Reminds us all of the bubble. So
I have a question.
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
don't remember how they made up the games last year,
I don't.
or do you
Yeah.
guys remember how they did that?
I don't think they did.
Oh, they didn't.
I think they just started the bubble and that was it. They just made a whole new schedule in the bubble.
No. Last year,
What do you mean last year?
Last season there was no bubble, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then you remember when the Hornets had like a stretch of like 8 games or something where they just couldn't play or something. I don't know how many it was, but they had a ton of made up games. Now, I don't remember how.
I think they just made them up.
Yeah, the Wizards
Made a bunch of back-to-backs.
Oh, okay. So that's big. I mean, that's a big deal. That's a really big deal.
I mean, how players 3 postponed games as of right now. So.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, how players complain now about back-to-backs, and then they're going to be forced, like teams are going to be forced to play back-to-backs now, and that's a big problem. Oh, and Drummond's out too, bro. I was so happy. I mean, I wasn't happy Joel Embiid is out. I don't want him to be hurt, but he wasn't going to play. And I was like, oh, I got Drummond on my fantasy team. All right, he's going to go off. Now he's out. COVID. Yep. Nice.
Yeah, the scoring in fantasy basketball has definitely been down this week.
Oh, it's
way down.
This is fantasy. Oh yeah, this is affecting fantasy like crazy.
It's way down.
Eve has 8 players out, I think, or something. It's ridiculous. She just gave up. I think she's playing you, Zach, or something. I don't know if she's playing you. I can't remember.
Hayden's playing me, and he's got a lot of guys out. I know that.
Well, so this is gonna affect. I don't know. As a Bulls fan, I'm gonna speak as a Bulls fan. I'm very, very heartbroken by this, just because the Bulls have looked good, right? But they're not only playing to get to the playoffs, go to a championship as well. They're playing for chemistry, which I would say is look good. But this is the kind of thing that throws holes or it just throws a problem in your chemistry issues. Yeah. So I'm a little worried about them. I mean, they have kind of put it together on the fly this year, it seemed. So I'm not too worried, but I'm really upset with it because they've been cooking this year. They've looked really good, and then all this hits. I mean, it's affecting everybody. It's ridiculous, and I don't know why. Like, what's so different this year? I guess it's because of the vaccine, and people are. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea.
Maybe it's just capacity. It's just increased, and a lot of states been like kind of more open. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, people just said, "F it, we're done. We don't. we just can't do this anymore."
Right.
So I still remember when this all started. This CDC was like, 2 years of this kind of stuff. Everybody was like, nah. Well, here we are 2 years later, and we're not better. I mean, this is at least, I will say this, at least the NBA has some kind of semblance of testing and regulation. Because if you look at the NFL, bro, they're all over the place. I don't want to get too on topic of the NFL, but at least the NBA tests daily, I believe, right? And they have some more regulations. You don't have to get vaccinated, but a lot of players do.
So is there going to be like a big asterisk this year again?
That's history.
I don't know. Well, not now, but if they do something like a bubble, or if they postpone games or make some big decision about what's going on now, then or enough games get postponed, I think the asterisk will come into play for sure. Because any type of break, that means rest for the players, and that means an asterisk for the fans' comments. So that's what I think. I don't know.
Yikes.
I think the bubble, if they do something like that again, first of all, I'm going to just compare it to the last bubble, all right? The Lakers look like they could really use a bubble break.
Yeah.
Really use it, bro.
Yep.
And I know what the narrative is going to be if the Lakers win it, right? And something like that happens again. Oh, well, look at how they were in turmoil right before it all happened, and then they got 2 months off, and then look at them. Like, that's the narrative that's going to happen. I agree with what Zach said though, Mohammed, because I think right now we're going good. Everybody knew this was going to happen. All right. I mean, maybe not everybody, but anybody with a brain or that pays attention knows that as soon as flu season hits, this was probably going to spike a little bit, and it has clearly. So as long as they can kind of maintain it a little bit, not lose too much, obviously if we start literally losing half the players, or Zach gets, folks sick, starts going to games, as long as they don't lose like half the league, I think this is okay, and they can just kind of push through this. It'll be down for a little bit, quality of play. I mean, dude, did you watch the Nets game the other night, bro? They literally
I saw the starting lineups, and it was like,
bro, I've never heard of half of these people, bro.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like, in for teams like the Nets, where KD, Harden, and Kyrie, those are the three big names, right? You got all of them out now.
Yeah.
Who wants to watch that? I mean, it's going to affect your revenue and everything. So there's some big issues I see.
Is there a good chance that, let's say, the people that have protocols right now, if they have COVID or they have symptoms, whatever it is there a good chance they get it again the rest of the season? Do you think it's just a one-time thing?
So
I don't know the science behind that.
I know some of the science is that the antibodies, they're saying, I think Eve has told me, like, they last like 2 months or whatever. So they don't last long. So
with the vaccine, with all the vaccines,
from getting it.
Oh,
And the vaccines last for, I think, a couple, what is it, like a couple months, like 6 months or something. It's like a flu vaccine. It's literally like a flu vaccine. You get it and then you'll need it again the next year. They're doing a booster now because I think we're in a pandemic, so it needs to be managed more. But I mean, as we've talked about, the vaccine is so you don't spread it as easily and your symptoms are less. That's why I have faith in this kind of thing, because if most of the NBA players are vaccinated, right, and they get it,
97%.
Yeah, so that they're only going to be out for a couple of days, theoretically. They could. So that could be a really good sign. Because if it was like the NFL and where a lot of players aren't vaccinated, that would be a really big problem. A really, really big problem. Because they're going to miss 2 weeks at least. And in football, especially, imagine if Aaron Rodgers, he's probably immune to, or he's immortal. He can't get punished, but like a Russell Wilson, or not even Russell Wilson, like a Lamar Jackson.
He's immortal.
I mean, this man literally just openly said, I was immunized and blah, blah, blah. And lied to the NFL for months.
He could be lying. He could be lying about being immortal. I don't know. But I just found out, I just Googled it now, that I don't know if you guys know, but I think the NFL and the NBA are both changing their protocols. Because
I was going to mention that what's it called? If people don't show symptoms, they might let people still play, even if they have COVID with no symptoms. I don't know what that means.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
I don't know if those are exact words, but I saw something like that.
Yes. Sorry. But Baker Mayfield, who's the
spokesperson for the NFL,
quarterback. Baker. No, the Baker Mayfield, who's the quarterback of the Browns, blasted the NFL and said, "At NFL, make up your damn mind on protocols. Actually caring about player safety would mean delaying the game with this continuing at the rate it is. But to say you won't test vaccinated players if they don't have symptoms, then to pull this randomly doesn't make any sense to me." So that's NFL. The NBA is delaying multiple games due to the surge. On Thursday, the NBA and its Players Association agreed to new rules for the holiday season, according to a memo obtained by ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, a good friend of the Say Less Basketball podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But the league will now require COVID-19. The NBA league will now require COVID-19 testing from December 26th to January 8th, and masks will be worn by players, coaches, and staff on the bench in all team facilities and while traveling to games, according to the memo, regardless of vaccination status. Damn. The only players not subject to testing during this period will be those who have received their booster shot more than 2 weeks ago.
That's weird. I mean, that is weird. Because, so to the Baker point, Baker was upset because they were testing players after practices instead of before, which kind of seems stupid because you test after. If they were sick before, then they just got everybody else sick. That's what he was talking about. But why? I don't understand. Like, if you're not showing symptoms, that doesn't mean you're not. Well, maybe it does. I don't know. Do you guys know if it means that you can still spread it? I don't know.
Well, you can still spread it if you don't have symptoms.
Right? That's what I think, right?
Yeah.
Because if I go up and I just start sneezing in people's faces, no matter what.
It's not good.
Well, how does the protocols work? I mean, is it, even if they don't have COVID, but they show some type of symptoms, don't they still have to go on protocols?
Yeah, I think so.
So even if they don't, that's weird. So if you just have the flu,
that's the only way it makes sense.
Yeah, as if they have symptoms, then they get protocols, right? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you don't have it though, like, why does it matter?
I don't know.
I think
he's into protocols. And then some guys, they'd be like, okay, because he had COVID. But some other guys, they don't even say they have COVID or not. They just say they're on protocol. So I don't know if that just means they're showing symptoms and they have to test negative a bunch of days or what. But
I think it means that they have. So when you go into protocols, you have to test negative twice within a certain period.
Is it 24 hours or is it 48 hours?
I don't know. I can't remember. I want to say it's 24. That was what it was for LeBron, I think.
Yeah, but LeBron's not the same as everybody. We all know.
He's built different. I mean, it's LeBron. I don't know, man.
Yep.
It's gonna be a tough ride for these next 2 months. I think the winter.
As long as this doesn't happen in the playoffs, I don't care. But obviously, it's affecting seeding right now, kind of. But I don't know. It sucks, especially because it's gonna affect the Christmas games next week.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. God, you're so smart.
Solid, nice one there. Yeah,
it's a great thought.
Like, they're looking real bad right now. Real bad.
Bro, remember when we saw the games and we talked about them?
Yeah.
Oh, they were already not good. No, they're just.
I mean, I guess Lakers Nets good, and then maybe Hawks and Knicks.
Lakers Nets. I mean, at this rate, the Lakers Nets is gonna be.
Well, I'm saying before, like when we talked about.
Oh yeah. Dude, I'm gonna tune in to watch the G League teams play. That's basically what I'm looking at.
Oh my
God. At this point.
Watch a bunch of G League talent.
We're gonna turn on Isaiah Thomas in the G League and watch him drop 40 again.
Bro, did you see how bad?
I wouldn't mind just watching Isaiah drop 40. I wouldn't mind that.
I'd be okay with that as long as you got like one name brand player. But like, did you see how bad the Nets looked as soon as they took KD off the court? Like the first game he couldn't play, they literally looked like a Y-ball team. It was awful. Nobody could run the offense. Nobody knew what to do. It was like, you remember when we played with Marquise Muhammad?
Yeah.
We talked about this before. It was like the one game he missed, and we just looked like we had no idea what we were doing. That's what it felt like, dude. The Nets just looked awful. I can envision that Nets-Lakers game being a score of like 54-48 and just a final score, and it just consist of like 100 turnovers or something.
Man.
Oh God.
But the COVID protocols is probably definitely the biggest storyline in the NBA right now, because you don't know what's going on with these Christmas games now, man.
Oh, I just found them.
It's gonna suck if they don't play the Christmas games. But
so if any player tests positive for COVID-19, he must immediately isolate until 10 days have passed from the test or the onset symptoms, or until he tests negative twice in 24 hours apart. Is 24 hours apart, not within 24 hours.
Wait, so if you get COVID, you can not have COVID in 24 hours?
Well, it's not saying that. It's saying if I get it today, tomorrow,
but if
2 days.
if
Theoretically, I don't know, maybe.
Okay, so that means they didn't have COVID then.
Right.
But that could mean that they had a false test. That is.
Is it false test or is it actually just not COVID?
Well, but they're saying, did they have to test positive
for COVID?
Yeah, but you said if they test positive, but then they don't test positive in 24 hours, negative test, and they can come back. So that means they didn't have COVID in the first place, right?
You're right.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that first test could have been wrong.
That's what happened with LeBron, I think. I think LeBron tested positive.
Exactly.
But it was a false test, and then he came back like really quickly, like within 24 hours, because he got
How are they going to change the rules and say that
he got the back-to-back negatives? And Wizards Nets on Tuesday. The Wizards Nets on Tuesday just got postponed as well.
Oh, literally right now from our boy Woj. You know, how'd they change the rules? This has been the rules the whole time, though, right?
I just saw like reports like going around that they might change the criteria for the protocol. So I was like, okay, how are they going to change it?
They're masking up more, and everyone's getting tested regularly now. They weren't getting tested regularly before.
Oh, okay.
But they're getting tested the week of Christmas, right? Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you're vaccinated. I don't know how long or how fast you can get rid of it. I have no idea. It could be. Huh?
Aren't you vaccinated?
Yeah, but I haven't gotten. At least in my knowledge, I haven't gotten sick. Knock on wood. So, but I don't know how fast. Like if you do get it, I don't know how fast you can go negative after. Like I don't know if it's a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Let's see, that is very realistic.
Yeah, so they're gonna wear masks by everyone, the players, coaches, and staff. They're gonna wear masks on the bench, and while traveling to games and all team facilities. So regardless if you're vaccinated or not,
so they're gonna have to basically wear a mask 24/7.
Yeah.
As long as they're in the facility, it seems like, yeah.
Dang, a lot of people can complain about that.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
A lot of the players who didn't want to get it and then they got the vaccination anyway are going to be mad as hell that they have to wear a mask again because.
Oh, it's such an inconvenience. And the alternative would be losing millions and millions of dollars. So I guess, pick your
teams or players.
Teams and as a result, players would. Because it won't affect their current contracts, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think it can affect them. It could really, it will, in some way, shape, or form, it always comes back to money. Somehow, it will always. That's just
money. Money controls the world. We all know that.
Cash rules everything around me. Yep.
Facts.
But so that's that. The COVID thing took a lot of time out of the podcast to talk about that. That's a good thing because this is big. This is the biggest thing in the NBA right now. This is gonna be the biggest thing during Christmas week, which is probably like the biggest week for the NBA, other than like the finals week. During the regular season, I think Christmas week is pretty big. But we're on to the next topic. I'm going to try and split this up a little bit here to get the best, most interesting ones first. I think the interesting one next is Kyrie coming back. That is a big storyline because, as you all know, Kyrie was out and was refused to get vaccinated to play for the Nets. And originally they wanted to have him part-time and play only the away games. But there was a lot of skepticism with that, with him being a part-time player. That like a lot of players, a lot of celebrities were saying, and a lot of media analysts were saying, you're not really into the full team culture, team chemistry if you're not playing all the games with them and you're not playing at home. So eventually the Nets just said, you're done. You're not going to be with us if you're not going to be fully with us. So they just did not play him. because of the mandate laws in New York, but they are bringing him back now.
Wizards Nets postponed as well.
Yep, since
Tuesday.
That's what I just said, yeah. But
you did?
That's what we just said,
shit.
yeah.
I thought they were talking about the Nets Nuggets.
That's okay, but
you're right. I'm an idiot.
But they're bringing him back part time. What are your thoughts? Do you think now that he's back part time, do you think if everyone comes back from protocols later in the season, do you think they'll demote him again, or do you think he's going to be part time for the rest of the season? Your thoughts, gentlemen. What do you think of Kyrie? This is a big move for the Nets. So
I think it's just funny how basically at the beginning of this, the Nets owner, GM, well, I don't know if the owner said it, but the GM definitely said, you either play with us, like Zach said, or you don't play. No, there's no part-time, right? And now this whole COVID outbreak happens, and now he's back on the team part-time. And the owner was to ask about it, and he said, my religion is, what he said? He said something like, I'm very religious about winning, so I want to win. That's all he said about the situation. So I just think it's funny that he's part-time eventually. And I said he would come back, so I'm just happy that he's back.
Got that one right. Yeah.
I couldn't have been more wrong about this. Well, actually, I don't know if I said he wouldn't come back. I can't remember. I just said he wouldn't get traded. But maybe I said he wouldn't come back too. I don't know.
I don't know. I definitely said he would not come back. Yeah.
I was very confident and still am confident that he is not going to get traded. Which I think now is even less of a chance he gets traded now that he is apparently coming back. But I have a question because I don't understand how he's going to come back. I thought you weren't allowed to play away games. Cool. If you were like players, I thought they couldn't play away games if they were unvaccinated. Like that was, and you could play.
I thought that was just in California and New York.
No, I swear.
I thought they could only if they can't play home games if they're in California or New York.
Yeah, home games. I know for home games, but I thought every player couldn't play away games. Can unvaccinated players look at that? It's a trending.
Yep.
It's trending question. Trending question.
Sure. I bet you better believe it's trending. Yeah. With everything going on, I think Kyrie is. Yeah, I'm just gonna say I think Kyrie is a great player. I think he could definitely help them win. But it's kind of funny that, like Mohammed said, they bring him back now after everything they said he can't. With part time and everything, and now they're on their last straw, and they're like, well, we got to bring him back, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how those shit like that works. We don't need you, and then when they actually do need you, they're like, well, we're just gonna pretend like we didn't say any of that, so we're going to win.
It's just funny. It's just so funny how they're saying no part-time, no nothing, and outbreaks happen, and now they're saying, oh, you can come back and play with us, and we were all about winning. It's just because they have a chance to either trade for somebody, not trade, maybe sign a free agent, bring up somebody from the G League, something like that, instead of sticking with their, their original statement, but they don't want to.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I can't find it, but I could have swore that when this all started, the reason that they ended up saying no more, no mas, Kyrie, is because he wasn't going to be able to play away games, obviously. And then because of New York's laws, you weren't going to be able to play home games either.
Yeah.
So
they're just like, what's the point? But you might be right.
Wait, in New York they can't play somewhere else? Is that what you said?
You can't play home games. In New York, you have to be vaccinated to work. So
okay, yeah, I understand that, but he could, if they go to Washington and play the Wizards, he could play though, right? Originally,
I don't know. I
think
thought.
So. I think you're right. I think he's right. Yeah, but they just said
I mean that makes more. Yeah, that makes more sense.
So then they didn't want to do that. That's my point. They didn't want to do that, but
now they want to.
Now they want
Well,
to.
no,
They don't
I
have
understand.
to. That's the problem. That's what's funny to me. They don't have to bring him back. They could just play, like I said, they can sign a free agent. They could bring someone else from the G League, but they don't want to do that. So that's what's funny to me, that they just, as soon as there's an outbreak, all of a sudden, yeah, Kyrie, you can come back. We're all about winning now.
We're all about winning now.
So according to the owner.
Yeah, and both of them, and KD and Harden and Kyrie are all in the protocols now. So,
well,
crazy.
Yeah, I think I'm remembering wrong, but I
that's
know.
Okay. You got it. We got the whole gist basically here, and he's coming back now.
we got the gist, but I just was kind of surprised by that because I was like, in my mind, I was like, wait, this doesn't make any sense. But you're right. I agree with you guys pretty much. They caved. Mm-hmm. I mean, they really did. They're desperate, and I get it. They're desperate. They got nobody. I mean, the Nets are that we talked about their roster outside of those three guys many times. It is an awful roster.
Yeah.
I mean, it is not built to win without those three guys, or at least one of them. As you see with KD, because KD, in my opinion, has taken the MVP first place. I think he's in first right now. I know Zach's going to lose his mind over that, but he's been carrying like garbage. But that can obviously change over the 2 weeks.
There's decent players on the Nets.
There are decent. Lamarck, I'm just saying, but that team is not built to work without those guys. It just isn't.
Yeah,
you disagree.
No primary playmaker.
Yeah, they don't have a backup. So but yeah, I agree with you guys. They caved. This will be really interesting. Kyrie's he's just a fun guy. I mean, he is an entertaining character at this point.
To watch him play again.
I really am. It's going to be really good for the NBA. But ultimately, it's not going to really it won't help them too much in the playoffs if he's not there for the home games. They really will need him. I mean, I guess they don't, because home games you're automatically not automatically favored, but you have a better chance, right? You got the crowd and everything. So maybe James Harden and KD will be like good, whatever. But in my mind, I'm like, you want him there for the home games because you have to win the home games. They need to. And so I mean, whatever. Nets caved, bro. They didn't stick to their word.
Them getting the 1 seed would affect them better? Will that be a good thing or a bad thing if this situation stays the same?
They need the 1 seed no matter what. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, 7-game series. What if they go 7 games against the Bucks? Would you rather have Kyrie 4 out of 3, or would it be? No, it'd be what, 4 games, right?
Wait, I'm confused by your question. Why would you not want him for more games?
No, I'm just saying, if they had the first seed, that means they have home court advantage. Would you rather have home court against the Bucks in a 7-game series? So if they play the Bucks, they go 7 games. Obviously, Kyrie would play more games since it'd be a more one game. So would you rather have that? Or would you rather have a 7-game series and then have home court? But obviously, Kyrie's not going to play as many.
Well, but how would he not play as many if you have home court?
Because you have home court, so you'd have more games on your home floor, so he wouldn't play. So
I'm sorry. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I was forgetting that he was in New York. That's a good question. That's
what I'm saying. So is getting the first seed should that be a priority?
That's a good ass. That's a good thought, bro. That's a really good thought. I don't know. It's hard for me. It's hard to say because there's no clarity in the situation.
That's
it's true. If I knew more, like if I know for a fact Kyrie is in it and like this is gonna stay, like the Nets aren't gonna change their minds randomly in a month again, when, like Zach said, players come back. So I don't know, because if that were the case, if he's staying, then holy crap, I'd almost say you don't want the first seed. I'd almost say that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because you want Kyrie there. Dude, that's a good question, Zach. You should hear what Mohammed just asked.
Yes.
Go, Mohammed. Say it again.
Huh?
Say what you just asked again. That's a good question.
Oh, okay. So I told Will, I was like, okay, since if Kyrie's gonna play only away games, we're talking about if the Nets should get a first seed. Last year they should have got it and it was important. Before this happened, I know me and Will talked about it earlier, like a couple episodes ago. We said, hey, they should go for the first seed. But now since Kyrie's back and he's playing away games only for right now, if they get the first seed, is it a good idea to get it? And then what if they go 7 games against the Bucks? Obviously, Kyrie is not going to be in as many games in that series as if they didn't get the first seed and the Bucks have home court. So would you rather have home court against the Bucks?
Wow, that is true.
Or the Heat? Maybe the Bulls. I think the Bulls match up against the Nets. So if they played, I wouldn't be surprised if they go 7 games against them. So it's like, do you want Kyrie in home court or do you not want him in home court?
I think I'd rather have Kyrie not. I'd rather have away if I was the Nets than home. Because we've seen the Brooklyn fans. Credit to the Brooklyn fan base and everything, but they cheered Steph when they played when they were playing in the Nets stadium, at the Nets arena, and they cheered Steph when he had a great performance against the Nets this year. And then that just shows right there that the fans really aren't like Brooklyn isn't really like a big like
basketball
like Chicago. Like Chicago rallying behind the Bulls. I mean, everyone's going to a Bulls game. Everyone's trying to at least. This year, the arena, the passion is really going through the roof in Chicago. Los Angeles is really passionate about their Lakers. But
that's the thing. Like the Nets are a secondary team.
Yeah, I don't think they really have a fan base that's that passionate about it. So I don't think it really affects them if they have home court much, especially if if they have Kyrie too, and Kyrie's only playing away. I would rather have away games. Because
we both
you get Kyrie, then you get Kyrie and the advantage.
I don't know. I feel like the Bulls would be the only team in the East that would have good chance of having a lot of fans in a Brooklyn stadium. The Bucks are not gonna have a bigger fan base to
New York might. New York might have.
The Knicks and the Bulls are probably the only 2 teams in the East. In the East, maybe Philly, maybe Miami. I don't know, but for sure Knicks and Bulls, just because the fan base is probably top 3, top 4 biggest.
Yeah, facts.
Bulls have a great fan base. I tell you guys, I've been trying to get Bulls tickets for the past month. Every game is sold out. All of them. Can't get tickets.
The game, I said the game in Miami with the Bulls was like $100 for no bad seats. So, and nobody in my group really wanted to go other than my boy Alec. But
shout out to Alec.
But
gang.
But that is the question. That's a great question. I think I'd rather have away games.
Good question. We should ask that. That's a good question. We should ask our many fans.
Yes,
on social media.
Fans. We should ask Woj on social media.
Woj wouldn't post that, bro. He'd probably get.
He's got a lot on his plate, man. He'd probably we know who he is. But the next big thing that happened this week is Stephen Curry broke the NBA 3-point record, snagged it over Ray Allen's long ran record. Reggie Miller had it before Ray Allen. Both of them were there that night, and broke it in Madison Square Garden. It was massive. It was pretty big on social media, and Steph posted and said that he didn't want to say that he's the greatest shooter ever, but now that he has the record, he feels comfortable saying that, and he got that. So, your thoughts, gentlemen? I don't know. I'm the Steph fan. You know what I think of this? I think this is a legendary record that he broke. I think it's going to get broken again, though. Do you guys think it'll get broken again?
100%. I had this debate with people at work who were like, "Oh no, it's never gonna get broken." I'm like, "It is 100% gonna get broken." They're like, "But what about his last? By the time he retires?" I'm like, "Aren't there I think they posted there's 5 players on track right now to have more threes than him at the end of their careers." I know Trae Young, Buddy Hield. People forget about Buddy Hield.
Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young,
Donovan Mitchell.
LaMelo, and Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they're better shooters than Steph, but Steph has changed the game probably forever. So pretty soon, Steph's hitting threes from wherever he hits them, like 30. Stephen A always says KD pulls up from 30. Then what's Steph doing? Like 35.
Right.
And that's an anomaly right now. But probably in 20 years, there's going to be kids doing that regularly more than Steph. It's just how the game goes. A comparison I made that is maybe not a great metaphor, but is like AI with the crossover. AI was kind of the first person to bring in the crossover, make it a big move. And I mean, he's known for it, right? That's what he's known for. Okay, who?
I say Tim Hardaway is. Okay.
Okay,
I guess AI with his right to left. Tim Hardaway was his between the legs was
okay, but that's beside the point. The point is basically if you start counting crossovers or whatever they were doing, whatever you want to call it, right to left between the legs, you counted it then how many times they did. I guarantee you 90% of the NBA ball handlers now do it more. It's a similar kind of thing. And I know a crossover is not shooting, but it's like it's a part of the game that has just become such a part of the game. And I think the same thing is going to happen with the three. This is a great record.
It already has, yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is to remember is Steph missed a lot of years when he was young. If you get another player of his caliber that can shoot like that, but that doesn't have the ankle problems, they're going to blow it out of the water. I mean, so,
It also depends on how long Steph plays.
That too.
Yeah, if he's got another 5 or 6 years in him, he could stack it really. But the way the game is now, if somebody comes in with the way Steph didn't really come in, and it wasn't like the game wasn't like that, like it is now. He had to change it and revolutionize it, and then everyone, that's what he did. He changed, and everyone started shooting threes. If somebody comes in now, and when everyone's shooting threes now, and like Trae Young, I think Trae Young could get close to it later in his career, but I don't know. It's to see for sure. We had to
Trae Young doesn't shoot as many threes though.
But he's on pace to break it. He makes more, I think.
Yeah, and he's in the era now where threes are just everything, right?
So, I'm pretty sure that the 5 players, Mohammed, that you listed off, I can't remember their rates, but I'm pretty sure they were blowing Steph out of the water. Like it wasn't even close.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
We'll see though. No, Steph's really doing it. He's shooting a lot now. So
yes, he is. He shoots a lot of threes now.
Yeah.
I think it was partially because he wanted to get the record.
So Donovan Mitchell has 808 in 303 games. In 303 games, Steph had 792. So he's outpacing him by
That's not much.
16. Trae Young in 231 games, he has 597. Steph had 530.
Okay, then I was wrong.
Luka in 220 games, Steph had 499. Luka has 588 right now.
Okay, that's more.
In 75 games, Steph had 150. LaMelo has 162. And 99 games, Anthony Edwards has 248. Steph has 200. Or Steph had 200.
Okay, so they're not as far ahead as I thought. But I want to say this just kind of off the topic is Steph was like, I didn't want to call myself the greatest 3-point shooter till this. I didn't think he needed to say that because I would have been okay with him saying it before he had this record. Personally, I don't think this record does anything for him towards being the greatest shooter ever. I understand like he has the most threes ever, but really you could just make the argument these kinds of records are longevity records. He could have said it 4 years ago and I would have been like, you know what, you're right. So I didn't have a problem with him saying that.
He has all those other ones where he's like, I don't know, those games where he had 9 or more threes or 10 plus threes. And I think most threes made consecutive games in a row. So he has 5 more records. So it's like he's already established himself.
Exactly. So I don't think this record really mattered for that. I understand his point, but in my mind, I was like, dude, 4 years ago, you could have said these exact words and I would have been like, you know what? Yeah, he's right. Isn't there one record that he has that like he's more than the rest of NBA history combined?
I think it was like games with 10 plus threes or something.
Yeah, I think it was 4. He has 4 and like the rest of NBA history is 3.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. That's stupid. That's literally just dumb.
I think I saw a stat where it was consistent games with at least one 3-pointer, and Steph was like 152, and the next player was like Lou Dort with like 50. So it's
Is
like,
that
man,
active players?
I think it was active players. Yeah, it was active players though. But that's funny.
You got anything to say? This is your boy.
Well,
It's
I
your
mean,
time to
we've known for a
ride him
long
high.
time. We've known for a long time that he's the greatest shooter of all time. No question. You know, the way he's changed the game, and you know, everyone's shooting threes now is a testament to that. How he gets played, how he gets guarded every game. You know, when he crosses half court, you know, everyone's got eyes on him. You know, when he's around the 3-point line area, you know, like 3 guys or 4 guys, at least 2 guys always got an eye on him, making sure he can't get a shot up, and then he gets it up anyway and makes it. It's just a testament to how he's changed the game. You know, the scope of his impact. You know, everyone's shooting threes now, and across you know, streets in America. You know, and LA fitnesses, and on your local gym court and your school gyms or whatever. Everyone's jacking up threes now. So I'm glad that he got the record. You know, I'm really glad that, you know, I feel like this cements him. You know, he was, you know, a lot. If he hadn't gotten it, then you know, a lot of guys could have held him against that, but he got it eventually. Um, you know, respect to Reggie and Ray. But Steph is definitely the greatest shooter of all time. No question about it. It's as obvious as ever. And you know, I think this it doesn't move up in my rankings all time at all. I still have him at 11, right after Tim Duncan. But if he continues this path, doing this with the Warriors, the one thing to say about the Warriors run this year, Steph does not have a second superstar to rely on for scoring. Wiggins is not a second superstar. Draymond Green is not a second superstar up to that caliber. When he gets Clay back, we went and had the second superstar there, but he's doing this all without somebody else.
Well, don't discredit Wiggins like that. Wiggins has been really
Yeah.
really
Don't
good.
discredit the Warriors system. You should say.
And so is Jordan Poole has looked
I
really
know,
good.
I know, but if it was anyone else, you guys would be saying the same thing. So if it was Kevin Durant, you sure would be saying the same thing. But he's not doing it without a second superstar. He still has James Harden. Like
Bro.
you just said,
James Harden superstar this year to you?
He should be.
James Harden is worse than the guy
by name,
we're talking
maybe.
about on
He's superstar by
on
name.
The worst. Honestly, this year. I get your point.
You know what I mean, though. But he's the front runner. He's the front runner in the MVP race for me. What he's done this season has been nothing short of magical. Just continuing the run, continuing the success.
He's not number 1 right now.
I think KD is now, but
yeah.
Jokic is not number 1 either, but it's Steph, KD for Jokic for me. That's my runnings. Those are my rankings for the MVP race.
Jokic is mad underrated this year somehow.
He is underrated, yeah.
Probably because of team record right now.
Yeah.
I got one thing to say. I just want to point out, like I saw a picture on, I think SportsCenter posted it. It just showed when Ray broke it, he was hugging Reggie. Then Steph 10 years later broke it, and he was hugging Ray. It made me think. I'm like, when I was younger, I watched the live when he broke it. I was like, that's crazy. Like, you know, it was like a piece of history, NBA history that I witnessed. And I was thinking, like, back then when I watched, but I seen Oscar Robertson's triple-double season. I was like, damn. I'm like, someone actually averaged a triple-double. That's crazy. I'm like, that's never going to happen again. Mm-hmm. Russell Westbrook did it. And then, obviously, the Rays 3-point record. And then the 3-1 comeback for the Cavs. And what else? I don't know. There's a lot of things.
There's countless, yeah.
And just my point is, like, when I was younger, I was like, I seen all these records. I'm like, this is probably never gonna happen. And then to see this happen twice in my lifetime is just, like, that's the part that makes it crazy about me, because it's like I was thinking, I was like, I'm never gonna see something like this ever again. So it's a good thing to be part of history.
You know what I will say is that so I've made it clear. I think this record is going to be broken. And what I think actually might happen is that there's going to be a gap of time between when, Steph's going to hold this for a gap of time. But I think what might happen after is because of how much he's changed the game, it might get broken and then it might get broken again year after year, maybe for a little. I don't know if it'll literally be year after year, but I could see that happening because of the volume of shots from the three now, so many players are going to reach that at a similar point potentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I also want to say this. One of the things that I think is a testament to Curry that we may think is cliche, but it really is a testament to him is when we go and hoop, bro, people start yelling Curry's name. I mean, that's just what it is, bro. You have to be really great to do that. People did that with Kobe.
Yep.
I mean, really, Kobe, Jordan.
It's just really Kobe.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not Jordan that much. It's really just Kobe that I would ever say, and I hear people saying, but I hear Curry now too. That's a big. I mean, that's in the real world. Like that doesn't matter in the NBA world, but that just shows you how much he's changed the game. Now, people are taking shots and being like, "Yo, I'm Curry," whatever. Which is a testament to him. And also the fact that, as you've mentioned many times, Zach, he's a small guy proving that you can play. And that gives hope to a lot of little kids out there that aren't athletic. That might not be athletic, but they can still get there. Yes, Zach, for those who don't know, is pointing at himself. And if you can just envision the scrunchy kid on the court that's really short.
I'm not sure about scrunchy, but definitely short. I know we're definitely short.
Short, but that you'd be like, man, this dude can't do anything.
Definitely short and unathletic. I know that much.
That's all right.
That's me.
One record I don't think I'll see be broken, but I said the same thing about the triple double on 3-point record is Wilt's single game record.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah.
100. That'd be something.
That would be something.
Any of his single game records? You mean like the 55 rebounds?
I'm thinking about the 100 points.
The 100 points.
If someone could score over 100 points in the game, I think that'd be probably the greatest thing I'll ever see on a basketball.
Do you think
be unreal.
His rebounding record is more likely to be broken, or the
what's the record? It's like what, 40 something, 50 something?
50. I thought it was 50, but
I thought it was 55. I thought it
was 55.
Yeah.
I thought he's saying 55 over Bill Russell when that's when he broke it.
I think it's 55.
The reason he got that is because he was just more athletically built than anybody on the floor. So it had to take some superhuman, some tall, athletic, lanky, strong guy that we've never seen in maybe KD. No, basically like a Yao Ming.
50, it's 55.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a Yao Ming or a Manu Bolt type player. Just
somehow I feel like the rebounding record is more difficult to break. I don't know why, because the reason I say that is because, bro, 55 rebounds in a game by itself is like just as total like is a high amount. Your 55 is a really high amount. Like you've had a really good as a team. Then for an individual to get that, like at least teams can easily score 100 points. Like 120 is not out of the question. So, but they're both like, I agree with you. I would say both of them are probably unbreakable, but
I don't know.
You never know.
Stranger things have happened.
Kobe had 81 and Booker had, 80. 70, my bad, yeah. So
that Hornets, it was Hornets, I forgot who it was, but Hornets somebody. They went to like double overtime. They scored like 140 or 150 or something. So I'm like, okay. I was like, if that happened, I could see somebody scoring 100 of those 50 points. I mean, 100 of those 150 points.
Somebody catches fire.
It'd have to be a close game.
Someone catches fire, or they just scream a big ball.
They'd have to stay in the game though, because they would pull them if they had
exactly.
And they were up like 30 or down 30, then they would pull them for sure. So it'd have to be close and be going to overtime.
So it had to be a coincidence then, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unless somebody goes on purpose for it.
I mean, yeah, you have to be going like 25 at the end of the first quarter, right? Like you just happen to have it, and then you're like, oh wait, shoot, I could maybe, at this pace, I could get it. Talk to your coach. I mean, some coaches are going to be understanding. If you're close to a record like that, like I think blowout or not, they might let you stay in. Like with the Booker, against the Celtics, weren't they getting spanked that game, but they just kept them in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I agree. I think preferably you want it to be a close game because then you're playing for like overtime and you got that extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you may end up doing. But if you're getting close to a record, I think coaches will let it slide. They'll keep you in no matter what and be like, go for it. And I think universally everybody on the court would know and in the stands.
It's crazy, but could happen.
Yep. We're at 55 minutes now. I don't know if you guys want to talk about Zion or coaches. Up to you guys, but
you guys see AD is gonna be out for basically a month.
Damn. Really off for what is it for? Is it an ankle or something?
Knee. He got injured twice against who are they playing? They're playing yesterday.
AD has not had a good season. We know that.
Yeah.
He got called out by Shaq. I don't know if do you guys see that he got called out by Shaq? That,
he did.
Shaq said, I saw LeBron numbers last week. I didn't see any AD numbers. I haven't seen AD numbers or stats highlighted all year.
Yeah.
He really has to step up. But if he
maybe this will be good for him.
He could be out for a month. Oh man,
being out a month is gonna be good for him.
No way, definitely not.
Regroup.
Definitely not gonna be good.
Figure some things out.
Looks like he needs another bubble break.
He does.
I mean, we talked about this when the Lakers got him. I was adamant. I said it all the time. Like, dude, I said their team just looks like half of it's gonna be injured. AD's always hurt, bro. He's an unreliable player. He just is. And I'm talking about health-wise. I'm not talking about on the court. I mean, even though you can make that argument this year.
Same thing with Zion. Same thing with Zion because I just
exactly, bro, dude. Have you seen the comparisons to Zion and Greg Oden?
Yep.
Have you guys seen them? They're scary. It's scary. Like same injuries, same amount of games played in the 2 years, and then obviously Greg Oden just plummeted off a cliff because of that. And I remember we've been over this. We said it. All of us said it. We knew his weight was going to be, the knees were going to be a problem. And now there's rumors he up to what, 330 or something?
Yeah.
Is that the rumors?
Yep, up to 300 at least.
That ain't going to work.
Nope.
He's got to, and then there's rumors like he's falling asleep during, all that stuff, during team meetings, practices. And it sounds like he's pissed off at New Orleans, which might be the case. We've heard rumors of that before, but you got to start taking your health seriously, dude, because he is going to literally ruin his career. You try getting on the court at 300 pounds like that with his vertical, bro, he's done. He will not play another year in this league if that happens. I'm willing to bet on that. And it sucks because he's the first dude in at least that I can remember that like was revolutionized on social media in high school. Like we all knew he was coming. He's that first guy. There will be more now.
Insane.
Yeah, dude, 360 windmills, bro.
He's like the first guy since LeBron to, everyone knew who he was in high school and college.
Yep. And I think we were a little too young to like really remember LeBron and experience that.
I remember LeBron's hype. Sounds the first like real star hype.
So it sucks. And I don't know about you guys, Mohammed, but at this point, I am very concerned about his career. I'm very concerned.
Same.
I am too. I mean, the recent setback he just had was, it's kind of like foreshadowing that this might be like a long-term injury. Yeah, and that's because he doesn't wait, and because he doesn't. The thing I don't know is the weight because of him rehabbing. Like obviously he can't do as much stuff as like in terms of conditioning and losing weight when he's rehabbing from a surgery, but Like the weight was kind of an issue before he had this injury.
Yeah.
He was gaining weight as soon as he came from Duke. He was gaining weight every year, and then obviously he's had this knee injury before the foot surgery. He had the knee injury that kind of was because of his weight, as most people speculated. But it's like, okay, if he comes back, is he gonna lose the weight? Is he gonna make that like commitment? So his commitment to this whole thing is a question for me, or is it just because he doesn't want to be there? I don't know.
That's what I wonder. But if you don't want to be there, this isn't the way out.
Yeah.
This is not how you get out, because I guarantee you every other team in the NBA is going to have the exact same worries as us. You know, they're going to be like, you know what, we'll trade for him, but it's coming at a discount because Buddy's 40, 50 pounds overweight. Bro, I don't even know if 280 is like feasible. You got to lose some serious weight. And to me, that's how you get back into the game. All right. You're not even coming back until you're down in weight. Yeah. So if you're gaining weight during rehab, you're literally prolonging your rehab.
Yeah. This is doing nothing to help his profile. Because I think some teams think about, you know, if he doesn't work out for us, he's gonna dip. Again, like he just did with this team, you know. I think some teams think, you know, about that, and he might.
Well, that's if he gets traded somewhere he doesn't want to be.
Well, if it doesn't work out, then he'll leave, right? Even if it's somewhere he wants to be, if it doesn't work out, he'll probably just want to leave again. I don't know.
I don't know his contract situation. He's on a rookie deal, obviously, so I don't know what the situation was with that. But if he wants to be out of New Orleans, then okay, then go ahead. But
I mean, at this point, he should genuinely be worried about his health. Maybe not even.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he shouldn't be thinking about leaving New Orleans. He should be thinking about his career.
Yeah. Like,
he leaves New Orleans, I don't know if someone's gonna give him.
I'm talking about your career health, but I'm talking about your human being health. 330 pounds. I don't know what it is, like the healthy weight is for somebody his size, but I'm wondering if that's bordering on obesity. And I know that it's different because he's an athlete and it's probably more muscle. So I don't know what his BMI is. But if you gain like 40 pounds like that out of nowhere, I have to imagine you were eating a lot of McDonald's or something like that. And I'm just saying, like, I'm speculating. Obviously, I hope I'm wrong. But if that is the case, I would be worried about my health just in general. And as a human being.
Maybe. I don't know. As an athlete, I think the weight's a problem. But if
I understand. I agree.
I feel like maybe he just needs to change his diet. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, and he's obviously not going to get to the point where he really needs to worry about his health. But, you know, I'm just saying, like, you know, at this point, you're really letting it get out of hand, man. And it's really easy to plummet down that cliff. So just
I'd be more relieved that he came out and said, I haven't been eating healthy. I haven't been watching my weight. That's something I need to work on. If he came out and said that, then I'd be like, okay. I wouldn't say like, oh, it was his fault the whole time. I'd just be like, okay, as long as he knows the issue, he's gonna try to work on it. Then, as a Pelicans fan, as just a Zion fan, I'd be relieved a little bit. But he hasn't said anything. His agent hasn't said anything. All these reports are coming from Pelicans reporters or Woj or whatever. So it's all just speculation at this time. But right now, it just looks, as the eye test is just looking like, you know, he's gaining weight and he's not doing anything about it.
Facts. It's a good way to end on it. But thank you guys. I think this is the last topic. We're at like an hour here, so talking for a hot minute. You know, the COVID protocol is going to be crazy during Christmas. You know, everything with the Nets going on and Kyrie and Steph breaking the record. So a lot of storylines. Zion, you know, so a lot of storylines, a lot of things to follow in the NBA. We appreciate everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Back this week. Happy holidays, Christmas week. Yep.
Christmas is gonna suck this year.
Probably.
The games.
No snow, no good games.
Bro, you see, it's supposed to be like 55 degrees on Christmas here.
Oh,
what? Bro, all you climate change is fake people out there need to open up your eyes. This is ridiculous. This is a tornado outbreak.
Maybe it's time to be somewhere more comfortable with the weather.
Oh God, Miami was a little bit nice with the weather, you know, just.
Yeah, but isn't like the South like becoming more hot and hot?
Yeah. Well, and you know, the sea level is rising.
So I was like, is that a safe place to move to? No.
Hell no. God no. Tampa Bay.
Miami. No.
Tampa's gone in 10 years, bro. 10 years.
Probably
10 years and Tampa Bay will not be a city anymore.
It's gonna be Atlanta.
It's gonna be Atlantis, bro.
People move to with I have to deal with comments.
Mount Everest.
Mount Everest.
Bro. Mount Everest, bro. It's gonna be so cold up there, but the world will be warming. So it'll progressively work its way into a nice temperature, and you'll be so high off the ground. I mean, you'll have to develop the ability to
be out of the curve. Be out of the curve.
Yeah.
I'm here 30 years early.
Yeah, he really will be. This man will be ahead of the whatever.
Maybe that's a move in 20 years or so. I don't know.
Suddenly you see everybody starting to move to
build towns and cities on mountains and stuff like that.
South Dakota. Everybody starts moving to South Dakota, the Appalachian Mountains.
The igloo wave.
The igloo. Eve says it igloo. It's an igloo. That's how Eve says it.
Stop.
An igloo.
Stop.
Bro.
Though, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, social media, Linktree, those will be in the bio. Twitter, Instagram, the vibe. TikTok. All right, love you guys. Peace.